Today I'm talking about the one thing that really keeps you stuck in the vicious cycle with food. And this is what kept me stuck for years. I mean, there's usually a handful of things, but this one thing really kept me stuck. And it wasn't until I shifted this one thing that everything changed for me. And so the one thing that keeps most of us stuck in the vicious cycle with food, and that kept me stuck for years, is doing it alone. So our struggles with food can feel very isolating and very lonely, and they can affect our relationships, they can affect our work life, they can affect our family life. And because we need food to survive, it is something that is going to be with us all the time, that we're going to need to manage it all the time, and hopefully not even manage it, but break through and just become a normal eater. And so in my struggle of 30 years and me trying to do it alone all the time, I just kept circling back to the same place. So the number one reason why so many of us stay stuck is because we're trying to do it alone, or we're trying to look to the same things that we've looked to in the past that just don't work. They don't work. And so by not doing it alone and getting the support you need from someone who's been through it, someone who's healed, someone who's gotten to the other side, that will really support you in making some powerful transformational change. So like I shared, it wasn't until I started getting help and support in a deeper way that I healed all my issues with food, and I was able to get unstuck and get to the other side. And I have to say, it was the best investment in myself I ever made. The best investment, hands down. There's no way that I could have ever put a price tag on it. There's no way that I could ever, there's just no value, because my freedom was worth everything to me. And when I was really deep in the throes of my emotional eating and my binge eating and my yo-yo dieting and all the craziness with my body image, I was so desperate that I would have done anything, even though I felt like I had already done everything. I felt like I tried everything. I tried every diet, I tried every meal plan, but the problem is that I was looking for a quick fix. I was just looking for the same thing I had always done and wanting the next thing to be the thing that helped me and healed me. And that just really isn't the way we get through our issues with food. We have to really look at, are we doing the same things over and over? Hi, Allison. Yay, you're here. Are we doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result, which we all know is insanity? Or are we willing to really step outside of ourselves and seek help and seek a different way of doing it? And it wasn't until I did that everything changed for me. And when I started working with a coach, and when I immersed myself into a 2-year program and started to look at what was underneath my binging, what was underneath my body image issues, what was underneath all the food stuff that I was struggling with. And it wasn't until I started looking at those things and really doing the deeper dive into those things that I started to understand what was happening. And then from that understanding, I could make shifts. I could make little subtle shifts every day and build new, healthier habits. Because the thing is, you guys, our brains are wired to fire together. And so we have these synapses in our brains, and the more we do something, the more it fires together. And that's how unhealthy habits are built, but it's also how healthy habits are built. And so you can actually change your brain wiring by doing new actions, by involving yourself in new actions that are healthier, that are more supportive, and you can create new neural pathways. This is just scientific stuff that's been shown that you really can rewire your brain. And I have this great analogy, and the first time I ever heard it, it came from Christine Hassler, who is a colleague and someone I really admire. She's a life coach, and she just has an incredible podcast called Over and On With It. And she shared about the wheat field analogy. And so the way we build new brain grooves is, if you think about a wheat field, and it's just this overhead high, pristine wheat field, and it's just, acres wide and acres long. And you imagine yourself at the beginning of the wheat field, and you're sitting in a pickup truck, right? And you're just going to drive straight through the middle of the wheat field. Well, the first time you drive through the wheat field, it's going to be bumpy. There's going to be things hitting your face. You're going to be going really slow and like trying to get through this wheat field. It's going to feel really, really, really hard. And then every time you go back and you start at that space and you go through that wheat field, it's going to get a little easier and a little easier and a little easier. And the wheat's going to start to tamp down. You're going to start to make a path. And that's how we build new neural pathways. It's by that consistent action over and over, doing something different than what we normally do, that we can build those new neural pathways. So I want you guys to think of that wheat field analogy. Someone else in the, hey Stacy and Allison are on, two of my girls. I heard another coach talk about a grass field, like making a path through the grass field, like walking to school, and you always go on one path, and then all of a sudden you decide you want to go on another path, and then you start walking on that path, and eventually it just becomes like a tamped down, open kind of roadway or lane. And so that's how we really build those new neural pathways in our brain, by taking that different path and creating healthier habits for ourselves. So doing it alone is really hard, you guys. If you've been suffering and struggling with food and weight loss in your body, the next diet's not going to do it. The next meal plan's not going to do it. Going vegan's not going to do it. I mean, believe me, I tried all of it. And it's still some form of restriction and dieting. And so ultimately, if you're doing that and you're still going to the next diet and all of that to look to solve your weight problem or solve your food problems, it's just going to keep you stuck in that same place. And so, doing it alone is one of the biggest reasons why we stay stuck, because we all have blind spots. And it's hard for us to see our blind spots. It's hard for us to know what to do. It's hard for us to know what we're doing wrong, right? Because we're so conditioned and patterned to do things a certain way. That's what we're used to. And our brain will always go to what's comfortable. And even though these habits may not feel comfortable to you because they don't feel aligned with you, or you feel like you're still stuck doing the same thing, they are in some sense comfortable. And so our brain's going to always go to the easier thing, the more comfortable thing, the habit, the thing that's already there, the thing that's already installed. And so ultimately, by getting the support and being able to have someone there to help you point out your blind spots, and to help put you in the direction you need to go in to align with what you want to create, that is what's really, really, really important on this journey. Because when I was doing it alone, I always ended up right back where I was, feeling even more frustrated, more like a failure, super disappointed in myself, thinking like, I'm never going to get through this. I'm never going to get past it. I'm just going to stay stuck in this spiral with myself. And it just feels defeating. It feels debilitating. It feels not good. Even when I think about it, when I talk about it right now, I feel it in my stomach. I'm like, oh God, that was such a challenging place to be in for so many years. So doing it alone is not the answer. And so if you are ready to actually step up and get some support, I have an incredible online program that's starting on Monday. It's a really, really small group. It's live, so it's not online, it's not self-led. I am there live. And if you're really ready to go that next step for yourself, to make a change and to do something different than what you've done and get the support that you need, then I invite you to apply for the program by sending me an email at missy@karmachow.com. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's see if it's something that feels like a fit for you. I only have a few spots left, and I'm really excited about the people that are in it so far that I've handpicked. It's been such an incredible process, and it's a really great group so far, and I have a few spots left. So if you're really ready to take this to the next level and break through and get the support, then I invite you to set up a time to have a conversation with me, missy@karmachow.com. I'd love to hear from you. And we can just talk about, what you need. And maybe it's not a fit, or maybe it is, but we can actually get you the support that you do need, because doing it alone is really, really challenging, and I would not recommend it. And I don't just say that for food issues. I say that for everything in life. It's really hard to do anything on your own. So like even running a business, raising a family, just life in general, we need to have support. Arlene, yes, if you want to learn more, email me, missy@karmachow.com. We'll set up a time to hop on the phone for 30 minutes and chat. So I'd love to talk to you about it as well. Alexis, I can share that with you on the phone. I'm offering a big, huge discount right now, so we can talk about that on the phone. It's a 12-week program, and so hop on a call with me and we can talk about how much it is on the phone. I'll give you all that information, payment plan information, all that stuff. So yeah, get on a call with me, Missy at Karma Chow, and we can talk about that. So thanks for joining me today, you guys. Remember, doing it alone is not the way with anything. And with what's been going on here in my community, right in my backyard, everyone is banding together and helping one another and supporting one another. And it's been so beautiful to see people really stepping up for the community and really showing what's important. When we think about really what's important in life, it's our connection with others. It's how we're of service to them. It's really leading from the heart. And when we're stuck in this food stuff, it's so hard to do that, because I remember when I was stuck in it, I was really self-absorbed, and I would spiral in my own stuff, and it affected all areas of my life. The cost of it was huge, just in terms of relationship and how I felt about myself and how I showed up in the world. So if you're really ready to take that step for yourself and you want to learn about the program that launches next week, it's 12 weeks, it's live, and it's a really small group, and I have a few spaces left. I would love to talk to you about it and for you to be a part of it if it feels like a fit. All right, you guys, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me. Thanks everyone for your love and support through this kind of crazy time here in Santa Barbara. Our sweet little town is just devastated right now, and just please keep praying for us and sending so much love. I'll be back here next Friday. And again, if you want to contact me about the program, just email me directly and we can set up a time to chat. All right, you guys, have a great weekend. We'll see you soon. Bye.